Ho, ho, ho. No, I'm not talking about you listening to this episode right now. I'm talking about Santa. In today's episode of Midlife by Design, I'm sharing what's getting you on Santa's naughty and nice list this holiday season, according to your human design profile. We talked about the profile lines and how they can help you break out of people-pleasing in episode 18. And this episode brings the lines together into their 12 profiles. I'll tell you all about where to find that when we get into the episode. But you're going to learn about the nice and the not so nice parts of yours. And when you listen to the whole episode, you'll even know about your loved ones too. And then you can figure out how to stay on the nice list this holiday season. I'm your host, Lori Lisai, human design teacher and alignment coach, here to help you as a midlife woman use human design to shed others' expectations and be who you came here to be. Let's dive in. Ho ho, welcome back to Midlife by Design. It's December. Santa's got his naughty and nice list ready, but this year it's actually all about your human design profile that is being evaluated. That's right. I thought we'd have a little fun as December gets going this year and talk a little bit about the human design profiles and where they're going to land you on Santa's naughty list or nice list. So let's get into it. Whether you're navigating perimenopause, deciding what is next in life, I'm telling you that understanding your human design profile is literally having a map to your strengths and the habits that might be holding you back or, causing some kind of struggle in this midlife phase. So stick around because I've got a special freebie for you that I created just for this holiday season, your human design type at Christmas. And it's just a fun, festive way for you to better understand yourself and also your loved ones this holiday season. So let's get into it. First of all, I want to talk briefly about the profiles, what that is, where you find it, and where they come from. So there are 12 different profiles in human design, and they are a combination of our line numbers 1 through 6. And they come from the conscious and unconscious sun lines. So if you're looking at your body graph chart, which you can go to my website, www.lorilisai.com, LORILISAI.com, and go to get your chart. And you can put in your birth details and you'll get your body graph. And when you look at your body graph chart, it's going to look like all these shapes and lines and numbers. And if you look up at the 2 columns that are on the side of the body graph, the 2 different sides of the body graph, if you look to the right at the very top number, there will be a little circle that signifies the sun. That's your sun line and your sun gate. And so what you want to look for is the decimal. What is that line after the decimal? And what I mean by line is a number 1 through 6. So look to see your sun gate, look after the decimal, find the number 1 through 6. That's going to be the first number in your profile. Okay. And the second number is going to be directly opposite on your chart in the other column, the unconscious side, again, looking at your sun. So the very top planetary symbol, the circle, is going to have a gate and then a decimal and a number after it, 1 through 6. That number, whatever it is, 1 through 6, is going to be the second number in your profile. Every profile has 2 numbers. You have 1 number at the beginning, 1 number at the end, divided by a slash. 1 is unconscious and 1 is conscious. 1 is conscious, the first line, and the second line is unconscious. And it's a combination of numbers 1 through 6, but not all the numbers go together. There are very specific combinations. So for example, there's no 2-6, but there is a 6-2. So that's just an example of one profile that that's just an example of where there isn't actually a profile, but there are only 12, combination of 1 through 6. And essentially, what your profile is all about is it's how we play out our role in this lifetime. It's really about our day to day in this lifetime. So, if you've been living out of alignment, and you're getting to this point in midlife and wondering, how can I come into better alignment? Your profile can be a really good place to dive into and get curious about because it is your day to day. It is the role that you're playing and how other people are sort of looking at you to kind of fill that role. So it's part of your purpose really is understanding your profile. So let's talk a little bit about Santa and his naughty and nice list for each profile. Don't you love the bells? Gotta have the bells, gotta have the props. So we're gonna go through each different profile, and I'm gonna give you a trait that's getting you on the nice list for your profile, one that's putting you on the naughty list, and I'm gonna give you some examples. So let's start with the 1-3. The 1-3 profile is called the investigating martyr or the investigative experimenter. And in order to land on Santa's nice list, you've got to be deeply curious and resilient. You have to trust in your resilience and understand that you are a fantastic resource for finding things that are tried and true. You get a full stocking for throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. Literally, you've got to really lean into that experimentation in order to see what happens and then come back and report it out for all of us. This Santa hat is a great example of a 1-3 profile, I feel like, because I am missing the little ball that hangs off on the end of my Santa hat, which is kind of lame, but it's all I had, and I really wanted to start recording this podcast, so I just said, fuck it, I'm going for it. And so, yeah, it kind of looks like, I don't even know, it just looks floppy, but anyway, that's some good 3-line energy. What's going to land you on the naughty list for Santa is getting stuck in over-resource. What's going to land you on the naughty list as a 1-3 with Santa is when you get stuck in over-researching and never taking action. So you're Googling every single symptom of perimenopause, but you're not going to see your doctor to actually talk about it, or you're not trying any supplements. Or trying any somatic exercises or other things to support yourself, that's going to get you on the naughty list. All right, moving along. Let's talk about the 1-4. 1-4 is going to land on the nice list when you are creating a sense of stability for yourself by sharing your knowledge with your community. So how can you share what is lighting you up, what is interesting to you, what you're learning about with your community? That is going to land you a solid big gifts under the Christmas tree. Naughty little children, on the other hand, or what's going to get you on the naughty list as a 1-4, on the other hand, is when you get totally overwhelmed because you feel like you have to be so perfectly prepared for something. You just are diving into the research and you can't extract yourself to show up for your community. So if you're planning for Christmas dinner, for example, and you spend more time finding the perfect recipe than you do actually showing up on the holiday and being present with your community and not delegating, for example. So that's our 1-4. Moving on to the 2-4. Naturally talented and charming, these 2-4s in our social settings. Being this way, really leaning into this is what's going to get you on the nice list for Santa this year. So all of those holiday parties that you get invited to, the holiday dinners, the just chances to interact socially are going to be a highlight for you, and we need your energy there. So that's going to get you on the nice list. What's going to get you on the naughty list as a 2-4 is when you get angry and mean if we interrupt you while you're doing something. You don't have to be that way. You can tell us not to interrupt you with kind words. So just think about before you snap at your kids or your loved ones, if you're in the midst of reading or, working on something and just kind of holding up in your hermit mode, you want to just take a breath, take a pause. Remember, you're going to end up on the naughty list if you're a bitch, so don't do that. Okay, moving right along. 2-5s. Ho, ho, ho. What's getting 2-5s on the nice list is that you are a freaking brilliant problem solver and you can actually teach what you learn pretty well. So, teach us how to make some shit, for example, over the holiday season. I'm not sure about you, but what I'm seeing on socials is that people are sort of slowing down on the like buying a bunch of shit and going more for making stuff this year and or um, focusing on experiences. So you, as this problem solver, can really help us in this holiday season to come up with some unique ideas. So, what's going to land you as a 2-5 on the naughty list is getting burnt out from saying yes too much because you didn't actually listen to your strategy. So that 5 line has hella power and hella charisma, and people are gonna like seek you out to solve problems and to take care of their shit. And you need to use your strategy. Remember, that's tied into your type. Use your strategy to help you understand what it is that you should actually be taking action on. So don't go volunteering to run every single holiday bake sale just because you know how to do it and you know how to do it well. You do not need to do every single thing. You can let go of some of that shit and stay off Santa's naughty list. All right, 3-5. If you want to be on the nice list, you're going to stay adaptable and practical this year. That 3 line coming through with the beautiful practicality and understanding that that practicality comes from learning from life's messiness. You get in there and you're going to get messy, and you know that that translates to being able to solve problems. So get in there and get messy and then share how you manage to solve your problem, solve what's going on with other people. And what's going to get you on the naughty list as a 3-5 is this whole like victim-y mentality. Sometimes 3-5s can really fall into this victim mentality of like, oh, why me? Poor me. Life sucks. And so you find yourself giving up on a relationship, for example, because you're caught up in like believing that has to be hard all the time. It doesn't have to be hard all the time. It can be easy. So, practicing a little more gratitude and presence as a 3-5 is going to help you really see the joy that is out there and help you to embrace that beautiful adaptability and resilience that comes along with your 3 line. All right, 3-6s. Ho, ho, ho. Staying on the nice list means that you are you're again with the 3 line, you are embracing that messiness, and you become with the 6 line a role model. So you are learning and growing through your experiences. So, maybe you decide that this is the year you're not going to go get a Christmas tree at the Christmas tree farm because the only thing that ever happens when you go is arguing with the kids who don't want to be there. Everybody's cold and miserable. And instead, you decide, okay, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to pick up a Christmas tree at the sale down the street at the hardware store, and I'm going to bring it home and put it up, and maybe we can decorate it together. So just using your experience of knowing like what works and what doesn't. And what gets you on the naughty list as a 3-6 is just focusing on past mistakes, like dwelling on them and not really making any changes because of them. So do not spend more time reflecting on your holiday fails than enjoying the present. Truly staying present this holiday season is a beautiful thing for all profiles, but especially for the 3-6. Give yourself a break. You're resilient. You have been through a lot. Things get sticky and messy with that 3 line. And as a 6 line, though, you have this beautiful way of seeing things that it really sets you up for being a role model. All right, let's talk about the 4-6. 4-6 for the nice list is our network builder. That 4 is all about that network. It's all about community. And so the twist with the 4-6 is that because you have that 6 line, you've got this wisdom built in. So when you get together at these holiday parties, at these mixers, at the cookie swap, think about what kind of wisdom you have, what kind of lessons you've learned yourself that you can share with your community. That's going to get you on Santa's nice list. What's going to get you on the naughty list is if you decide not to go to any of those things because you're just withdrawing because you don't feel supported. So this is like avoiding the family group chat after one too many passive-aggressive messages. Just like speak your truth. Get out there and say the hard thing. Just like call it out and help people pivot instead from getting into the pettiness that can happen in those group chats and pivot into how can we redirect this conversation to something more positive. Use the lessons that you have learned and really share them with your community and your loved ones. All right, moving on to the 4-1, opportunist and investigator. So this is, as you have seen, there is a 1-4 profile and a 4-1, for example. And so this is one example of profiles that one of them has the one line that's conscious and the other line is unconscious. And then there's the equivalent profile that's just switched. And the difference between these types of profiles is that your conscious line is something that you tend to be more aware of, over your lifetime. You can identify it often. It's more obvious to you, and it's also part of your personality. Versus the second line in your profile is related to your body. And it's also related to your unconscious. So it can tend to be a little less obvious to you and tends to be something that other people will recognize in you that you maybe don't recognize right away. So, however, I will say that as you get older, I think that you're more aware of it, and so us in midlife, if we are building awareness and if we are on this self-growth journey, then we are probably pretty aware of our second line at this phase in our life. So the 4-1 gets on the nice list by being solid and dependable and really building meaningful relationships. So when you are at that holiday party, holiday mixer, cookie swap, whatever, wherever you are having meaningful conversations. You are not having, you're not talking about the weather. You're not talking about, sports, unless it really comes back to the meaning of life for you. Those are the kinds of conversations that you want to engage in with the people around you. What's going to land you on the naughty list with Santa is resisting change and sticking to traditions that are just way outdated. So, do you really want to put the poop ornament on the Christmas tree again? Or do you really want to make the 12 yolk pie? I have a recipe for that. DM me if you're interested. It's so freaking good. But, maybe that's an outdated tradition because everybody that's attending that dinner has high cholesterol, whatever the case may be. But maybe you're insisting on the same holiday menu and it's just not working because, now your partner has gluten sensitivity or your father's a vegan or whatever. So just accept that there is the opportunity for change and lean into it, as part of being in your community, and use that one line to help you research how to just fucking crush it, in the new tradition. All right, let's talk about the 5-1. This one I have an extra special space in my heart for because I am a 5-1. So, what's going to keep us on Santa's nice list is leaning into visionary thinking and fresh solutions. So, what is happening around the holidays that really could use some freshening up? Maybe it is some of those holiday traditions that just need an update. Maybe they're old and outdated and really could use a new lens, something that is more forward thinking and inclusive, perhaps. That's going to help you land on the nice list. What's going to land you on the naughty list is when you are feeling completely burdened and like you have to live up to unrealistic expectations. So, what happens with the 5 line is this projection field. This also happens with the 2 line. And both of those lines have a projection field, which just means that we having those lines, we are like a cosmic mirror of sorts where we have people see in us what they think they see, not necessarily what's really there. So, as a 5-1, for example, you might be expected to fix everything during a family drama, or if there's like a communication breakdown, you might be expected to fix everything. So, just resisting that and really trying to be who you are. You are a problem solver, yes, but only be solving problems that truly are, lighting you up or are use your strategy, to solve them. If you feel drawn to solve them, it's because your strategy pulls you to them, not because somebody is shooting all over you, including yourself. All right, let's talk about the 5-2. On the nice list, 5-2s are going to be our brilliant, beautiful naturals. This is the 2 line coming in with the knack for innovation. So these are other people in our midst who can redefine Christmas traditions, holiday traditions. These are people who can come at a problem with a different kind of view and use their natural talents for it. That's what's going to help them get on the nice list. The naughty list for 5-2s, that's going to happen when they're withdrawing and they're just sort of hiding in their little hole that 2 lines tend to do, in order to just get away from pressure. It's that projection field again. So they feel like all of these expectations are on them. Maybe they don't feel enough because a lot of times the 2 line doesn't see those natural abilities and they're called back, or they're called out to share their natural abilities, but they don't necessarily see them as valuable because they think everybody can do it. So you might be, as a 5-2, avoiding family gatherings, saying, oh, I just need alone time. But then you actually feel really isolated and lonely when you're by yourself. So if you need time by yourself, that's totally fair. That happens so much just in regular life, not even to mention the holidays, but just use your strategy when you're deciding about a holiday invitation, for example. All right, let's talk about the 6-2. So 6-2s are on the nice list when they are leaning into their wisdom, their introspection, their calm. 6-2s can be really just this very chill energy and a beautiful calming presence for the rest of us when the holiday chaos gets going. The naughty list, you're going to land on the naughty list when you avoid sharing what naturally comes to you, what you are naturally gifted in. And sometimes this can be challenging because 2 lines, as I said, oftentimes don't see what they're really good at, but listen to what people are telling you. And You another example of something that is so what's going to land you on the naughty list is you avoiding your natural abilities. So, for example, maybe you go and get things on your list that are safe versus what you feel like the loved ones or who you're shopping for truly need. Like you have an intuitive knowing about what would be a really wonderful gift for them. But instead, you buy whatever, the AirPods, because that they want that on their list. So another just example of that. Okay. And then our final profile, the 6'3". If you want to be on the nice list as a 6'3", you are going to inspire people by embracing your fuck ups. You're going to inspire people by just doing that, throw the spaghetti at the wall and screw up, and understanding that uniqueness and your unique kind of approach to life is perfection. Okay, so not getting caught up in the perfection loop, because that's what's going to land you on the naughty list, which is sometimes 6'3s can actually take the high road a little too often and get into like this martyr mentality where they're always feeling like something's better. It's like that grass is always greener on the other side mentality for 6'3s. So maybe you refuse to commit to a holiday dinner or some kind of party or whatever because you think something better is going to come along, and then you end up with nothing on your calendar. So resist the urge to do that. Otherwise, you're going to land on Santa's naughty list. All right. So as I've gone through all of these profiles, I hope that they have helped you to just get a little glance of how the profile can help you navigate midlife with a little more clarity, and ask you to think about, where are you being too hard on yourself? If you're landing on Santa's naughty list, where are you being too hard on yourself? Or where do you have opportunities to shine, to be on Santa's nice list? And where do you think Santa would put you on his list so far this holiday season? We are just getting into it. So, what are you thinking? According to the little snippets that I've shared for your profile, which list are you landing on? And I want to invite you to download this new freebie that I have. It's just a little printout that explains. I want to invite you to download my new free guide, Your Human Design Type at Christmas. It's a sweet little download that gives you some information about your type and what kind of role you play according to your type during the Christmas holidays. And then you also get a personal little letter from Santa, and you also get some ideas for gifts that you can give some of the other types in your life, and also ideas to give other people who might be gifting you. So these are things that you might ask for, and check that out because maybe they're not on your list because you hadn't thought of them, but they might actually just be perfect for you. So I invite you to check that out, and I will put the link in the show notes for you. And please feel free to download it for yourself and for send it to your friends who would love to have holiday insights, because it's a fun thing to get a little letter from Santa that's based on your unique human design. So that's all I have for today. Happy December, happy Christmas season, happy holiday season, and we will talk again soon. A little more clarity, and ask you to think about, where are you being too hard on yourself? If you're landing on Santa's naughty list, where are you being too hard on yourself? Or where do you have opportunities to shine, to be on Santa's nice list? And where do you think Santa would put you on his list so far this holiday season? We are just getting into it. So, what are you thinking? According to the little snippets that I've shared for your profile, which list are you landing on? And I want to invite you to download my new free guide, Your Human Design Type at Christmas. It's a sweet little download that gives you some information about your type and what kind of role you play according to your type during the Christmas holidays. And you also get a personal little letter from Santa and some ideas for gifts that you can give some of the other types in your life, and also ideas to give other people who might be gifting you. So these are things that you might ask for, and check that out because maybe they're not on your list because you hadn't thought of them, but they might actually be perfect for you. So check that out, and I will put the link in the show notes for you. And please feel free to download it for yourself and send it to your friends who would love to have holiday insights, because it's a fun thing to get a little letter from Santa that's based on your unique human design. So that's all I have for today. Happy December, happy Christmas season, happy holiday season. And we will talk again soon. Thanks for listening to Midlife by Design. The best thing that you can do this holiday season is book a call with me to dive into your human design. The alignment call is free and a chance for us to chat about what's stressing you out so that you can shake shit up and make a real pivot instead of living on autopilot by keeping the same old holiday traditions that just feel old at this point. Human design can give you the permission you need to make this the holiday season that finally looks the way you want it to. Have you seen Bad Moms Christmas? It's time to take back Christmas. You don't necessarily need to go drunk in the mall, but you do you. And if you need a little energy boost to do it, try Natural Shilajit. This is something that I have been using recently, and I've been mixing it with raspberry and throat coat teas, putting it in the refrigerator, and then using it as a pre-workout because I don't want to use regular pre-workout anymore. And honestly, it is so much better. It gives me a boost to help my workouts and has also a bajillion minerals in it to support this perimenopause thing we have going. So I'll put a link in the show notes for you to save 10% as well. And as we close, I'm sending you strength to release what no longer serves you, like eating the liver pate because you don't want to be rude, joy to fill your days, and clarity to fully be who you came here to be.